Okay, so here's the second page. It says determine whether or not the two triangles in each part below are congruent. If they are congruent, show your reasoning in a flowchart. If they are not congruent or you cannot determine that they are, justify your conclusion. So if they're just similar, with this one, we're not going to do similarity flowcharts. We're just going to stop. So in the first one, I know that these middle angles are equal, and I'm going to use side angle side congruence for my yellow sheet. So remember, you get to use that yellow sheet tomorrow. So I've got 3 leading to 1, and then my right side angle side congruence, arrows. And then I'm going to fill in the blanks. So IG is what I just decided to start with. So IG is congruent to OG. And that is given from the picture. And then remember, with your symbols and stuff, your markings, or sorry, symbols is what I was talking about. Here, the way that I'm marking that up there, that's all on the poster next to smartboard. So you can use that today and tomorrow. And then BG is congruent to DG. And remember, you can also switch it. If you want to do GB, it would just be GD also. And that's also given. And then the last set is the angles in the middle. Because there's a lot of angles going on there, you need to use 3 letters. So angle BGI is congruent to angle B to G would be DG, DGO. And the reason for that being true is vertical angles are equal, or vertical angles are congruent, vertical angles are equivalent, whatever you want to write, but as long as you're writing that in there. And then the last step would be to say the triangles are congruent. So triangle BGI is congruent to triangle DGO. And I just copied the letters from up here and just used different symbols to represent a different situation. So then in B, these triangles are put together, so I'm going to separate them. If you already see that these will be the same, you don't necessarily have to separate these because you don't need anything else, but I'm going to just do it because it's good practice. If you are struggling with finding information you need, I may have written that a little too small. So I gotta zoom in, sorry. So I'm just, oh, the stuff's not letting me write. Hold on a second. There we go. Just came out of nowhere there. Okay. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring, but I can. So now that I have this, it's a little hard to see because mine's a little ugly, but it is going to be angle, side, angle. So that is a shortcut that we have. So I'm going to use 3 leading to 1. And then I'm going to start filling in the blanks. So lots of angles here, and we have to use 3 letters, unfortunately, for all of them. So I'm going to start with these 2. Angle IBG is congruent to angle ABG, and that is given. And then angle IGB is congruent to angle AGB, and that is given. And then the last step is BG for the top is congruent to BG, and that is reflexive, and it is the correct order of the letters in this one. So then on the last part, I can either pick this order or this order, it doesn't really matter, or the last order is fine. The last one of being like, what is the last, actually there's probably more than that. Yeah, there's a lot more than just one more set of letters. Like you could have done BIG or BGI, just so many different combinations, but I'm just going to copy the first one. So IBG, ABG. Okay, so with this one, we're going to separate them. And I'm just writing down all the info. Don't miss anything. Oh, that T is sad. Okay, so we do know that these middle ones are equal. We can't assume that this T here is a 90-degree angle. You got to be careful. Excuse my dog. Okay. Oh, goodness. Stop, please. So, sorry. You can't assume that that's going to be 90. It does look like it, but remember, pictures are not exactly as they appear unless they tell you. So you only follow the information you're given. If they told you there was a 90-degree angle like here, that would be enough to say that you've got 90s. Or if they told you L was a straight line. It looks like a straight line, but it could be like curved at that T in reality. So now that we have all the information that we're allowed to have here, this is actually following side-side angle, which is angle side-side, which is a no-go for our options. Remember, this is different than side angle side though, which does work because side angle side would be like a situation like this, where this angle right here would have information on it, but it doesn't. So it's not in between like here. So, oh, don't want that highlighter anymore. So this is not congruent at this point. Like there's not enough info. Maybe if they told you more later, it could happen, but not now. So then this last one, we've got some info here, vertical angles. So I have a set of angles and a set of sides, but I need more. So I'm going to use these parallels. Let's make this a little smaller. Now with this one, we've got two transversals. It doesn't matter which one you use. So I could go this way, or I could go this way. And you're just going to get different sets of angles. It's going to get you different answers. So you could end up with, actually, yeah, you could do angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle. So I could end up using lots of different angles. I'll show you that in a second. But like, let's do like this one. If I do that transversal, these are alternate interiors, so these are equal. So that gets me angle, angle, side. But I could also go the other way and use these, and that gets me another set of angle, angle, side, because those are alternate interiors. Or I could not even use the vertical angles at all. Sorry, I know this is a lot. And I could just use those angles here that I just talked about, and then here, and then I've got angle, side, angle. So just like so many options, which is like good for you. It's not a bad thing because you got a lot of routes you can go. I'm just going to use the vertical just to have that practice, and then also use parallel, and let's just pop that transversal back in, and these are equal. So looking at the parallels with the transversal separate, these are the ones that I'm talking about, the alternate interiors, and those are congruent as long as the lines are parallel, and they are. So now I've got, in my situation, I'm going to use angle, angle, side. So 3 leading to 1, angle, angle, side. Make sure you're using all the symbols, arrows. Okay, so we got all the info, we just got to throw it in there. I'm going to use angle I is congruent to angle M, and I get to do just one letter because there's not a lot going on there. And that is if parallel. Oh, goodness. If parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. And then remember, you don't have to write this exact sentence. If you just want to say parallel alternate interior angles congruent in some way, shape, or form, as long as you have those few words that I just said in it, that's fine. And then I'll do IT is congruent to, I to T is going to be M to O, and that is given. Use capitals when you see capitals. And then the middle angles IST. Remember, you could also do angle TSI. It's congruent to angle, so IST, MSO. And then I'm going to just write the triangles are congruent. Got myself an order of letters already, so IST, MSO. All right, there you go.